Hello, guys, and welcome to the lesson number 9 of MakeStories 101 course. In the last lesson, we saw how you can add the text elements and how you can use the font combinations if you want to use the combinations and you really don't want to spend time researching on the fonts and all those things. Now, in the next lesson, we will move to the fourth element on our left side, which is called layers. So, if you are a designer and you have used something like Photoshop or let's say Adobe XD, you already are familiar with the concept of layers. So, layers in Make Stories are something like they look something like this, and they change for every slide. And this is basically a hierarchy of the layers from top to bottom. So let's say we have this image. Okay, so you can see this image is at the top, and this text is now behind the image. In this case, if I want this text to be above this image, I will have to drag this image all the way to the bottom. And when you do that, you can see that this image is now behind this text. So the layers are basically used to define the order of your elements on the canvas. I'm sorry. So here we can see that we have this paragraph tag, heading tag, then there is this group, and then we have the image. So if you remember Photoshop or Adobe XD, you know that you can group your elements. Now remember, whenever you will use a font combination from here, this font combination will be added on your canvas or your story slide as a group element. You can go in, you can rename this group. I will write over here header group, and over here I will write the intro group, for example. If you want to, you these are the layers, and in front of the layer it will show you what kind of element it is. So if it is a paragraph tag like this, it will be written p, and if it is a heading 2, it will be written h2 over here. Same way, this is a h4 tag, these are the svg elements, and this is again the h2 tag. You can rename the elements. So let's say I would write white box. For this I would like to write black line. Sorry. Remember, you cannot rename the text elements. So the moment you change the content, let's say I write it over here, this is a heading tag, so the same thing will come over here. Or you But you cannot go in and you cannot change the name of that layer, only for text elements. Now you have seen that the when you add the font combination, they come up as a group. But your next question will be how you can create your own layer groups. So to do that, let's create a new slide, and let's add 2 or 3 different elements on the canvas. So now here we have h1, h2, h3, h5, and a paragraph tag. Now what I want to do is I want to create a group for heading 1 and heading 2. So to do that, I can do is I can drag drop this. I can select these two things, these two elements like this. Or another way to do this is, first I will select the heading 1 element, I will press the shift key, and I will select the heading 2 element. When I do that, you can see that they both are selected together. They can be selected together and you can move them around, and then you will see an option over here that says group elements. So I will click on group elements, and you can see that a group has been created over here. Okay, so now you can see that we have a group created. So this way you can create a group. Now I will select these two elements and I will create another group. Again, you if you want to rename those groups, you have to go in here, you have to double click this, and then you can rename it. So I will write h3 plus h5, and this is h1 plus h2. Now I will want to make group of groups. You can do, if you can even do that. Okay, so I have selected two groups now, and I can use command plus G, and it will create a group of groups. So here we have one group at the top. Now, if you want to get inside a group, you would double click the group or the element that you want to get into. So here we have the h3 plus h5. So I will double click this. So you can see that I am now in the h3 plus h5 group. Now, if I want to edit the heading 5 element, I would just double click the heading 5. So this element is now active and I can start editing. This grouping is awesome. So this way you can create groups of elements or whatever you want. So with that, I think we are done with the layers tab, and that's it.